Hi, everybody. We're going to do linear functions. This is part of the S section of Algebra 1 IXL, and we're going to be looking at S.13, which is write linear functions from word problems. So here it is. Let's take a look. I didn't do a preview, so we'll see how it goes. Looks similar to the slope-intercept form over here, except they want me to use different variables. Let's see. Write an equation that shows the relationship between the number of weeks W, so we're going to use W for weeks, which makes a lot of sense, and the number of pieces learned, so P is the number of pieces learned. And it says she already knows how to sing 1. That's her starting point or y-intercept. And she's going to learn 2 new pieces during each week of lessons. That's the rate of change. That's how many she's changing it. So the number of pieces that she learns is based on how many weeks she studies, plus the one she already knew. So that's our function that we want to write. Let's see. P equals 2W plus 1. Tisha has already spent 5 minutes on the phone. She wants to spend 3 minutes with each phone call she routes, and P is the phone calls routed, and the minutes on the phone is T. Okay, so T is the number of minutes she's already spent, and T is our independent variable, which makes sense because it's time. So P, the number of phone calls routed, is equal to, it says she spent 5 minutes on the phone. So that's the y-intercept is 5. Sorry, it's a little hard to read there. And 3 for every phone call she routes. So it's 3 minutes for each phone call. And T is the minutes, the time on the phone call, plus 5, the 5 original minutes that she started with. So it's going to be P equals 3T plus 5. Didn't quite, what? Oh, T first, it says. Oh, T is the number of minutes. I'm sorry, guys. I can't read today. All right, we'll try again. Okay, a person can pay $6 for the membership. Then they only pay $3 per visit, and we want the total cost. And the total cost is C. Here's where they tell you. And that is equal to the 3 times the number of visits plus the $6 for the original membership. Got to actually read the question. C equals 3V plus 6. There we go. Come on. Patty already owns 1 necklace, and they're priced at 2 for $1. That shows the amount of money spent on additional necklaces, D, and the number of necklaces, N. So we want to start the equation with N first. So the number of necklaces is equal to 2 for each dollar spent. It looks like D is the amount of money spent. Let's see. D, there it is. D is the amount of money spent plus the 1 necklace that she started with. So she gets 2 necklaces for every dollar spent. And so it's this one right here. N is equal to 2D plus 1, the original one. Justin set his watch 3 seconds behind, so it's probably going to be -3. It falls another 2 seconds, that's a -2 every day. So it looks like D is the number of days and S are the seconds you're behind. And S are the number of seconds it's behind, -2 seconds every day that goes by, also minus the 3 seconds it was behind originally. Now, the problem is that we're accumulating seconds behind. So I don't know whether the S's are going to be in terms of how many seconds he's behind or that they're negative seconds. I'm thinking that they're probably going to use this negative situation. So hopefully it works. Depends on the sense that you're thinking of it as. If you're thinking of the number of seconds that he's behind, it won't work. Now, the second mistake is that if you notice, I put the negative right next to it. You actually have to divide it up. Oh, sure enough. Okay. So what they did was they thought of these as time that the watch is behind. However, because they said the word behind, they didn't want to talk about negative seconds, even though that makes more sense mathematically. So it's kind of a bad question anyway, but I would have gotten it wrong anyway. So there it is. Kind of depends on how you interpret it. Gabby has already written 6 pages. These are definitely positive, and plans to write 2 pages for every additional hour she spends writing. So H is the hours she's going to spend writing, and P is the total pages written. So it's P, the number of pages, is equal to 2 times the number of hours plus 6 pages originally. All right, D is days, J is jam, and we start with the J. And it's 3 liters originally. That's your y-intercept. 7 liters every day. So it's 7 times the number of days plus the original 3. Grows 5 flowers with each seed packet. This time S is the seed packet and F is the number of flowers. So the flowers is equal to 5 for each seed packet that he plants, plus the 2 original ones in the garden. Yeah, it's a guy. So F equals 5 times the number of seed packets plus the original 2. Already has 12 kilograms, and they're going to make 3 kilos each hour. And we're interested in hours worked and D for dough prepared. So the dough is the prepared dough. It's going to give us 3 extra kilograms every hour plus the original 12. Already started with 8. Going to make 2 additional pies for each cup of sugar. P starting it out. This is the number of pies, and cups of sugar is S. So he's going to make 2 additional pies for each cup of sugar. So that's 2 times the number of cups of sugar he has, plus the 8 original pies that he started with. Okay, so this time they're talking about the time behind as being positive time, even though it really should be negative time. And it falls behind 3 seconds every day. So we want days and seconds behind is S. Basically, we're thinking of the number of seconds behind as a positive quantity, which is really weird, but it does work. And it's just have the sense of the problem. So D is the number of days. And it says we want S is the number of seconds her watch is going to be behind. And it's going to fall 3 seconds behind every day plus the original 10 seconds she set it behind on purpose. Now, this is actually going to be a negative number, but we're thinking of it in terms of how far behind it is. That's the answer they're looking for. This one is, it starts with 5, and we're going to get 4 additional. So J for every day that goes by, and every day is D, I believe. Yep, that's day. So J is equal to 4D for each day plus the original 5. Started out at 4 pounds. That's the starting point. And gains 4 pounds every month. Man, that's going to be a hefty pup. Write an equation that shows the age A and the weight P. So we're interested in how much he weighs, and it's going to be age in months, isn't it? He's going to gain 4 pounds every A month. Instead of using M, they used A. So it's 4A plus the original 4. Oh, I said 4. There we go. A cab company charges $4 per cab ride plus an additional $2 per mile driven. Man, cheap cab. If a cab ride is 7 miles long, how much will it cost? So write and solve it. So here's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to say that the cab costs, the cost is $2 for each mile driven plus the $4 for the original cab ride. Now it says that it's 7 miles long. So C is equal to 2 times 7 plus the original 4, which is 18. This is the cost of the cab ride. Okay. It says barber's office has already recycled 8 kilograms this year, and the new plan will have recycling 3 each week. How many weeks will it take to get to 140 kilograms? So we're supposed to first write the equation and then solve it. So it says that the number of, let's call it P or K. I'm going to call it K for kilograms of paper. And it's equal to 3 each week plus the 8 original. And we're interested in how many weeks will it take to get to the 140 goal? And of course, we're going to subtract 8 from both sides and get 132 is equal to 3W. I just subtracted the 8 original kilograms. We're going to divide by 3, and you're going to get 44 weeks. It takes almost a year to get that much. And that is 44 weeks. Plumber charges $136 to visit a client's home. Finally, a realistic problem. Plus an additional 101 per hour. Pretty cheap plumber, but okay. If the plumber's visit lasted 6 hours, how much would it cost? This is actually pretty close to what a normal plumber costs. Now, if you talk about a marine plumber, like I used to have for the yacht, the price for this was $300 an hour instead of $100. So the plumber, this is going to be the cost of the plumber. I'm going to say this is how much money he gets, is equal to $101 for each hour he spends, plus the $136 for coming to the house. And his visit lasted 6 hours, so he's going to charge his 6 times his hourly fee. 101 times the 6 plus the 136, and 606 plus 136 is equal to $742, which is a pretty reasonable plumbing bill for an all-day job. It doesn't sound like it, does it? Thinking you want to become a plumber? Good point. $742. be a marine plumber and make 3 times that much. Of course, you have to be tiny enough to get into the little spaces. All right. Lily owns 276 necklaces, and additional necklaces are priced at 2 for $1. Not very reasonable. It seems a bit inexpensive. I would think beads maybe or something. How much money does Lily need to spend on new necklaces in order to own a total of 800? So I'm going to go ahead and set it up. So the number of necklaces is equal to 2 for each dollar she spends plus the original 276. And we're interested in finding out when will she reach the 800 goal. And we're going to subtract the 276 from both sides, which is going to be 624. Oh, sorry, 524. Dang, forgot to borrow. 524 is equal to 2d. And then we're going to divide by 2 on both sides, and we're going to get 262 is equal to d. This is the amount of money she'll have to spend to get the 524 necklaces. That will give her a total of 800. I'm thinking more like beads, but okay. 262. Members only speaker series allows people to join for $68 entry fee and then $15 per event. This seems like a reasonable amount. And what is the maximum number of events for a total cost of $128? So the cost, or the price, if you like, for the events is going to be 15 for each event. I'm going to call it E, plus the $68. And we want to know how many events if they charge a total of 128. So this is 128 is equal to 15 times E plus the 68. This is actually pretty close to what it is. I go to a lot of 92nd, or used to go to a lot of 92nd Street Y events, and they were usually somewhere around $30 for members, but 15 seems pretty close. For most places, New York, it's always more expensive. All right, so we are going to solve 15E, and we've got 60, and we're going to divide the 15 on both sides, and we're going to say that they can watch, or 4 events for whoever it is. So they can go to 4 events. All right, we've got Brenna's hair is 1 centimeter long after, Brennan's hair, after his last haircut. Man, buzz cut. And it grows 6 centimeters every year. That seems pretty slow. Brennan last got his last haircut 6 years ago. Man, oh man, hippie man. I did the exact same thing. How long is it now? So his hair is going to be 6 centimeters each year that goes by, plus the 1 centimeter long it was long ago. So the 6 is equal to the number of years as well. So it's going to be H is equal to 6 times the 6 years plus the 1 centimeter. It's going to give us 36 plus 1, or 37 centimeters, which is a little, 37 centimeters is a bit over a foot. It's probably about a foot and a bit more. I didn't cut my hair for about 4 years, but my hair was almost 2 feet long, so it's not exactly right, but it's close enough. 37, there we go. A sapling started out 126 inches tall. That's our initial condition. It's going to grow 2 inches per year, which seems pretty reasonable. How old was the sapling when it was 146 inches tall? Well, we can do it in our head pretty clearly. It's going to be 10 years, but we want to write it out anyway. So the height of the sapling, I'm going to call it H, is equal to, it's going to grow 2 inches each year plus the 126 inches it started with. And we're interested in solving for when will its height be 146. We're going to subtract the 126 from both sides and get the 20, and then divide by the 2 and get our 10 years that I said. And Mary has already run 1.9 miles on her own and expects to run 3.55 miles during each practice. How many track practices will it take for her to get to 243.3 miles? Well, I'm assuming she's probably going to run some more on her own, hopefully, but who knows? It's going to be the number of miles that she runs is 3.55 for each track practice. We could call it T or P. I'm going to call it P for practices. And plus the original 1.9 miles that she ran on her own. And the number of miles we're interested in is 243.3. This is one of those cases where you might want to have a calculator handy. I suspect that it may work out evenly, but who knows? I'm going to subtract 1.9 from this guy. It's going to give us 3.55p and when we subtract that, we get 240, looks like 1.4. And we're going to divide by 3.55. This is one of those cases where a calculator comes in real handy. 241.4. Yep, divided by 3.55. And it's 68. Guess I could have done it by hand, but I'd rather not. If I would have done this by hand, I would have had to move the decimals over, and it's quite an involved process. Anyway, there are 68 practices that you would have to go to in order to get that far. A person can pay a $22 membership for the Science Museum. Probably going to cost a bit more than that. And it only costs $9 per visit. Again, I would say that seems reasonable, but the membership seems a little bit low for a member in the Science Museum. How much is the total cost of 12 visits? So the cost is going to be the $9 for each visit plus the 22 original dollars for the membership. And we want to know how much is the cost if they go to 12 times. So C is equal to 12 visits plus the 22. That's going to be 108 plus the 22 original dollars that you spend. It's going to be $130 is the cost, the total cost for going to the Science Museum. Seems like a lot of visits, actually. Gina's already written 36 pages. Good on her. And expects to write 1.6 pages for every hour. Wow, that's specific. After 5 hours of writing this week, how many pages will she get? So the pages is equal to 1.6. This is her rate times the number of hours she works plus the 36 original. Well, she's going to work for 5 hours this week, so the 5 goes in for H. This is P equals 1.6 times the 5 hours plus the 36. It's going to be 8 plus 36. This is 8, by the way. And the pages is equal to, looks like 44 total. Let's see, we're going slow. I don't know, probably because of the original problems originally. All right, so already has 23.3 kilograms. They're going to recycle 5.05 each week. So the amount of kilograms that the office recycles is going to be 5.05 each week plus the original 23.3. And we want to know when will they get to 99.05. That's a really weird number. I guess they wanted to have more than 99 kilograms for whatever reason. Plus, I think they wanted it to work out evenly. So subtract 23.3. Notice that I added the extra 0 in there. Whenever you're doing decimal division, it's nice to have them have the same length. It's easier to line them up. So if I take away 30 from this, of course, I'm going to get the 5 and the 7. And I had already borrowed one of these, so just keep that in mind. 3 from 8 is 5, and it looks like it's 75, 75. 5.05 W, and when we divide by 5.05, it happens to be 15, and W is equal to 15 weeks. The reason I know that is because 15 times 5 is 75, and it works out really nice. That is 15 weeks. All right, Scott has already spent 33 minutes on the phone, and he expects to spend 2.7 more minutes with every phone call. In all, how many phone calls to spend his 330 minutes? So his minutes is equal to 2.7 for each phone call he makes. Don't blame him. I don't like to spend a lot of time on the phone either. Plus his original 33. And we want to spend up his 330 minutes on Grandma's phone. 2.7p plus 33. So we're going to subtract the 33 from both sides. And that's going to give us 297 is equal to 2.7p. Did I make a mistake? Oh, no, it works out. Divide by 2.7, divide by 2.7, and it ends up being 110, I believe. And should we do the calculator? Probably. So since I'm so close to the end, I'd really rather not make a mistake. Let's see, 297 divided by 2.7 is 110, like I thought. So I'm going to put in the 110. And I'm done. Oh, not yet. Getting there, though. Charity charges a flat fee of $182 plus an additional $35 per attendee. Seems pretty good. If there are 12 attendees, how much will the charity gala cost? So the cost is equal to $35 for each attendee. We'll use A for attendees, plus the flat fee of $182. And we're interested in how much will it cost for 12 people. So we're going to put the 12 in. 35 times 12 plus 182. One of the reasons we don't want to use X and Y is because X and Y are kind of meaningless. The C and the A actually means something, and it makes it a lot easier to work with. So 35 times 12 is the same as 70 times 6, which is 420, plus 182. I used a little trick called double and half, and that's going to be 602. And that is how much it's going to cost for 12 people to go. The double and half method works like this: 35 times 12. What I did was I doubled the 35 and made it 70 and took half of the 12, which gave me 6. And hopefully you can see that this is much easier than that. A little bit easier anyway. Anyway, 602. And we're getting there. Kinsley already has 196 flowers in the garden. She can grow 11 flowers with each seed packet, and she has 11 seed packets. Okay, could easily make a mistake here. I'm going to go ahead and put flowers in the garden for Kinsley is equal to 11 for each seed packet she plants, plus her original 196. And we want to know what happens if she puts in 11 seed packets. 11 times 11 plus 196 will give us the number of flowers. That's 121 plus 196. And it looks like we get 317. Just double check my work real quick here. 4, yep, that would be 317. What I did here was I took these 4 away from here and put them with these. And that gave me the same as 117 plus the 200, which was a lot easier addition to do. And this is the number of flowers. This is using conjugation to add 317. And we're getting there. Okay, Oliver already knew 84 appetizer recipes. He's going to learn 2 new ones during each week of school. And he wants to know 126 altogether. So the number of recipes, shall I use R? I guess R. Recipes, or I could have used A for appetizer, is equal to 2 each week plus his original 84. And we are interested in getting to 126. 126 is equal to 2W plus his original 84. I'm going to subtract the 84. That would be 42. It's equal to 2W. And it's going to take him 21 weeks of class. And looks like maybe 2 more. Monica has already walked 32.4 kilometers. She plans to walk 9.8 for each trip to school. So the number of kilometers she's walked, I could have used W, I suppose, is equal to 9.8 for each trip. Sorry, that's a funky looking 9. There we go. Plus the original 32.4. And we want 10 trips. So it's 9.8 times the number of trips plus the 32.4. That's going to be 98 plus 32.4. I'm just going to cross that out and put 98 right there. And put the 2 with this one. Can you do it? 130.4 is the number of kilometers walked if she goes 10 trips. All I did was take this 2 and put it with the 98, and that gave me 130.4. Assuming I didn't do anything silly. Oh, darn, 2 more. Okay, Tamir has already prepared 3 kilograms of dough, and he's going to make 3 kilograms additional every hour. And so the dough, or the number of kilos, is equal to 3 per hour plus the original 3. And we want to know how long until he gets to 30 kilograms. Clearly it's 9, but we subtract 3 and divide by 3. And it takes 9 hours. And we have one final one. Tamir already owns 574 novels. He can buy additional ones at the rate of 0.2 per dollar. Let's make some sense of this. If he can buy a fifth of a novel with $1, it takes $5 to buy a novel. Okay, so just so you know. And it says, with $10 to spend on novels, how many total novels will he have? So the number of novels is equal to 0.2 times the number of dollars he spends plus the 574. And of course, the $10 goes in here. And 0.2 times $10 plus the 574. This is just 2. Sorry, this is just 5. The heck? That's only 2. Oh, because he has $10 to spend. That means they cost $5 a piece. So yeah, that's right. 2 plus the 574 makes 576 altogether. And it looks like we're done. 576. And that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed them, and I will see you back. Bye.